let's see our new topic, which is based on the single responsibility principle. As we can see that we are going to understand like a kid, so we will have a base concept, and let's see what it is. So single responsibility principle, so it is from a solid principle. Now we will see our example, we will learn from an example. So we let's think about a school. So we in a school there's a teacher, student, cleaner, right? So teacher responsibility will be teaching a student, cleaner have a responsibility to clean classroom, and students have a responsibility to read and ask questions to the teacher, right? So each person has one job there in a school. So here what we can see here is the bad situation will be in what scenario? If one teacher is going to teach, clean, cook, then that is the bad situation, and it is very confusing and tiring. So this is a bad design, right? And what is our rule? The rule for SRP is one class should have only one job, so one person have only one job, right? So SRP means only one person can handle one responsibility, and that is clean and also not time consuming, right? For that reason SRP is used, just like one person is equal to one responsibilities, right? So as we can see, moving forward towards the simple programming example, we have our bad example, where we can say bad example means bad situation, that one teacher is doing everything, cooking, cleaning, teaching. So here bad example means in programming we are writing here our class login. So in a login, what login class is going to do? Okay, so in login class going to log in the user, then it is going to save the database, user database, and it is also going to send the email. So literally class login is doing too many jobs, and then it is also creating three jobs and doing by only one class login. It will break, and it is also hard to fix later on when there is our code has been if the code does not run, right? So it is going to be very tireless job for us as well while we write a code. So too many job is a bad situation. We should not put too many situation in one program in one class, right? So good example, let's move towards the good example, which is our split the job. So if teachers do their job like teaching, if housekeeper do the job about the cleaning, safe do the job about cooking, then the job is going to be little bit tired, little bit it is going to split the job, and the responsibility will be going to divide. So for that reason here also we can see the one example, we have an example, it's a good situation example. We have a login class, and login class is only doing what? Login function, so that is login user. So it is only logging the user, and we have a database which is only saving our user database, and we have another class for us email service, and it is only going to it is only going to send the email. So if we separate our function like this and classes, then it is going to make sure that it is going to handles login and saves data and sends email, and each class has only one responsibility. It will keep our code clean and responsive, and also easy for us to maintain later on. So for example, as we can see here in a playwright as well, in playwright we have a simple kind of example. We have a bad page object. So here if we put in a login page, if we put login, verify login, write data to file, so literally login page is doing all three roles, which is a bad page object. It is hard to maintain. It is if we have any problem in a code, it is difficult to find out. So it is like login page should only handle login page, not a file writing. So right, so file writing. And then we have a good design. So in good design, what is going to be separate? We are going to separate login page. In login page, what is situation? So in login page, what we can do? We can do login, verify login. So it is a similar to the login page, right? So here in class file helper, in file helper, what is going to do? It is going to write the data. So it is going to separate the role and give the responsibility according to that. So it is not going to mismatch it. Now everything is clean and easy. So we'll go to a simple way to remember it. So we remember that one class is equal to one job, right? So one class is equal to one job. And then driver drives, safe cooks, and cleaner cooks. So not one person doing everything, right? So every person have one role and responsibility to fulfill. And let's see more advanced example regarding a single responsibility principle. Here as we can see that definition, here SRP means a class should have only one responsibility or one reason to change, right? So what we have learned before, that one person have only one responsibility or one role. For that reason, a class also should have only one responsibility or a one reason to change. So if a class perform, let's say if a class perform multiple tasks, any change in one task may any changes in any changes in one task may affect the others, right? So if the classes performs multiple tasks, like for example one login page is going to verify it, log out also, write data, right, everything, and screenshot everything the login page is doing, then it is not going to handle multiple tasks. It is going to affect that responsibilities and other as well. So this makes the code harder to maintain, test, right, and then debug. Later on it is very difficult to debug and test as well. So for that reason, that is a bad design, right? So bad design. For example, here we can see in class user service, in class user service it is going to create user, save user to database, and also send a welcome email. So it is one user service is doing a three role responsibility. So it is going to create, it is going to affect other role as well, to the save user or send welcome email. So it is going to have a problem, and it is later on it is difficult to maintain or find any bug inside it. So this class is responsible for three job, and if the database logic changes, this class must change, right? But if we have a good design example, then where you can see user services create a user responsibility will only save the user, and then emails, class email services will only send the welcome email to the user. So each one classes have a single responsibilities. So here we will study it later on this one. Now let's forward to a more example, like more examples. So we will have, so we will remember it. So student management system, here bad design. So for a bad design, what else we can do is, as we can see already, one in a class of a student, we have a class of student, there we have a student, we are going to add a students, it is going to calculate grade also, it is going to save students to database, and it is also printing a student report. So one class student, class student is going to do all the four responsibilities. It is going to create a chaos, and maybe it is harder to maintain, and the whole class, if the database changes, then the whole class must change. So what does that mean? If a database changes, the whole class must change. So here as you can see here, save student to the database. If database is changed, then whole classes must change. So it should separate. If the students have no role of grading, calculate grading, then it should separate. So it should be interrelated. If one class, if login class has no relations between or log out or saving or data to the database, it should not be same it should not give a responsibility to the class of a student, right, or a login functions. That's why if as we can see here, good design as well in one class services, it is going to add students, because student service have one that is a task of at students. Grade calculator will obviously calculate the grade, student repository will save the students, and report the printer will print the report. So each class has now one job and one responsibility. So example online system, as we can see here, create order, right? Or in order service, you can only create order, not a price calculation or process payment or send email confirmations. So too many responsibility is given to the order service. So order service has only one responsibility, which is a create order. Order have a we have to make for order, we have to make or calculate price, process payment, and send email confirmations. Different class, according to that, according to their role, we have to give them a responsibility. So here also, as you can see, bad design. So file manager and file handling also, here we can see file manager will only what you can do, read file. So it is not going to write, compress, or encrypt. So this is a many different tasks, and different tasks will not be held in one classes, right? It is confusing, harder to maintain, it is not professionally used. And here as you can see that good design will, file reader will simply read file, file writer will write file, file compressor will compress the file, and file encryptor will encrypt the file. So this is how the class is handled, that one class has only one responsibilities. And as we can see here in automations testing in a playwright, that automations testing, login test only can verify, login test only can what, okay, as you can see here, what the login test can do here, okay, open login page, login user, and verify login, right? It can do literally that one. So login test means open a login file, login user will, so here login invalidator verify the login, screenshot will screenshot, file helper will write the result. So basically this is like one one class have a one role and responsibility, and according to that we have to going to write it. And no and do not mismatch it, otherwise it's harder to maintain later on. And here we have a quick rule to remember. How we can remember is, if you look at the class and say this class is doing too many things, like then SRP is probably violated. A good class will answer, what is this class responsible for? So if the class is more than one thing, split the class. So if a class is doing more than one thing, then you need to separate that class and write differently. So this is how SRP works, and it will maintain our playwright automations clean, maintainable, and also easy for us to understand in a professional world.